Hi everyone, Nancy the Treasure Hunt, and welcome to the live tonight. We'll be talking about all kinds of things. And my chat on the YouTube side is something went wrong, so I'm looking at my phone to look at the chat. So just technology, just gotta love it, I use it, but I don't love it. So, welcome in Robin and Rebecca and TV watchers and replay watchers. Thank you so much. Hey, Sue, how you doing? And it's that time of night. I don't know why. Well, we've had the windows open all day long. And then when my son's cooking, we open up the doors and everything so the air can flow through better. So all that stuff stirring up. And tomorrow I have an allergy shot tomorrow. So it's like, and it's going to be cold. Anybody ready for snow? I'm ready for snow because usually when it snows, I don't go out in it. I just stay home. But I do have to get me some boots because my boots, I think, is in storage. We think that's where they're at. That's where they should be. Either that I got accidentally thrown away. So I gotta go get me some new shoes tomorrow. And then I'll be doing something besides going to the doctor. That's weird. Y'all know me, it's usually doctor, home, and nothing else. Or, order stuff online. But, that's all right. So tonight I'm going to talk about what I've been using. And I've been posting pictures. I didn't post any today. But let's see if we can get this camera lens. So, peekaboo. Is that better? All right. So this is what this looks like now. It's a little red. It's a little itchy. And I'll tell you next what this is. And I'll just rub it in. Just rub it on there. And it goes down. So what this is JewelWeed Salve from Stringfield Ridge Farm. And Teresa does sell this. So if y'all want to go over there and talk to her about it. It says it helps with the itchies. It helps with poison ivy, poison oak, and poison sumac. Helps with the itchies, made by Stringfield Ridge Farm. It's a 2 ounce. It has olive oil, wild jewelweed, beeswax, and vitamin E. And I've also noticed now, because I'll have my arm down like this. I mean, doing it as like if the air gets to it and everything, it starts to go down. So just putting that JewelWeed on it and letting the air get to it, it's gone down that fast. So I still don't understand. I don't know if it's still something I'm eating. Is it contact dermatitis, as like the doctor says? I do know this is working better than anything else I've tried so far. And I was just like, oh my goodness. I was like, Lord, something has got to work because this is ridiculous. So most of the time, and when I get up in the morning, it's gone down a whole lot. Even having my arm under the covers. So it'll itch every once in a while. I mean, it's like it's itchy now. But since I put that on there, I'll just keep rubbing that in. I don't use the cortisone over the counter. I don't use the one the doctor prescribed for me. We didn't growing up, even though we had it. We had Lanacane, y'all remember? And they know that's still out. But it really didn't stop the itches either. It just kept everything going. Hey, Andale, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, yeah, it's getting better and better. It's going to take a while. Now, this is within a week, from last Wednesday to this week, how this has gone down. I mean, I don't know if my skin will go back to the same color right through here. Now, I'll get one of those spray tans and put it on. How did I tan? I burn first and then I tan. I don't ever tan. That's when I was a kid I did. But yeah. Well, we'll see. And it's like at nighttime it looks like this, and daytime it looks better. But like if I sit here with my arm like this, and I got to where what I'll do is I sit like this, so the computer's turned because I'm turned sideways instead of like going like back and forth. Sit there and turn sideways so I can keep my arm out like this and just use the mouse unless I'm typing something other. And or I'm crocheting. Now, see, that's what I was doing before I started the live. For like 30 minutes, I was crocheting. I was working on this. So when I'm crocheting and I'm holding this, my arm is, closed because you got to hold one side and crochet with the other. So that's like, But since if I'm not crocheting, I just put my arm out and it goes down. So, it's like multiple things that are probably. Oh, thank you so much. I like that stitch. It's a quick, easy stitch. It works up really fast. So it doesn't take me long to get a scarf done and everything. So this is what, like I said, I've had my arm bent. So as I keep rubbing that JewelWeed in, it goes down. And I'm like, oh, just go away completely. I'll be glad. But that's how that is. Hey, we all talking about all kinds of stuff last week, and I was like, oh, I got that JewelWeed from Teresa. Let me see how that works. So this is this is what I'm using. And I got from Teresa at Stringfield Ridge Farm. And so if you're interested, she's got other stuff, just email her. Hey, Teen J, how you doing? So, is it alpha-gal? That's a hard question of if it's really alpha-gal. Did I have alpha-gal? Yes, I did have alpha-gal. Do I still have it? I'll probably have it slightly to a point where if I eat beef or whatever, sometimes I'll have an immediate reaction. Sometimes it's 2-3 weeks later. So I guess it really just depends on what we get, what beef, and where we get what store it's from. Because when my hands and all were flared up, I did try grass-fed beef, and it didn't help at all. And it just made it worse. So, oh my goodness, I've got the itchies tonight. Well, it's a good thing some of this is still on my hands. So, as far as the beef goes, Yes, I did have some tonight. We had tacos. So they tried something to. So is my itching from the tacos? I don't know because the blood work says no. My body says another thing, and that's the frustrating part because you can go get the blood work, all day long, and it's still gonna come out that way. But your body is saying something different, and it's just where you just need to push. Let's keep testing for it. We got to find out what's going on. So anytime a doctor tells you there ain't nothing wrong, you tell them we'll keep on pushing until we find out what's wrong because something is going on. You know. So what I started doing today, so I was going to start back on my low carb. So today's breakfast was 2 eggs and 2 turkey sausage patties. Because I still have the turkey sausage and I still have my ground turkey and everything to use. Because I still want to sit there and do that also. As far as like eating beef, tomatoes, potatoes, anything like that, it'll be once a week. Just trying to see what my body's doing. Is it still having a reaction? And, you know, do I ache or whatever if I eat potatoes? Now, I've noticed regular potatoes, like white potatoes, the next day I'm a little achy, but not like, but if we eat like the frozen potato wedges or potato tots or anything, oh, no, I'm done because that I hurt really bad the next few days if I eat the processed stuff. So that I know to leave it alone. And I do have stuff in there. And sometimes it's the motivation to get up and go fix something to eat. Instead of just, throw it in the but even if you just got stuff that's like the chicken nuggets or whatever and you still gotta get up and put it in the oven and everything. So I was like, might as well just fix me something to eat. Hey Misha, how you doing? So I still have turkey spam and I've got some canned chicken and got chicken in the freezer and everything. So I've got plenty of stuff to start doing the low carb again. Because what I did for breakfast was I did the 2 eggs and the 2 turkey sausage round ones. I made them. They were about that big. So that was no carbs. And then for lunch, I did a salad. And I had some chicken left over from last night that I baked. It was like the one that came out tonight on the cooking channel was chicken and apples, or chicken apple bake. And that was 3 big breast pieces and everything. So the other one, I did a video about what I did with it. But I cooked one for lunch yesterday and only ate half. And then used the other half today to make chicken salad. Just to cut the chicken, had some lettuce, put some onions in there, some radishes. I didn't do any celery. And I put some flax seeds in there also, and some sesame seeds. And yes, I used a little bit of salad dressing and everything. So, and then it was a nice big bowl of salad. So that was my low carb lunch. And then for dinner, we had what we had for dinner and everything. So in the dinner, when I start, so they had dinner finished by 4 o'clock because of Anastasia OIT. So by 4:30, they're doing what they need to do with her. So if we start at 4, from 4 to 5, I'll eat my dinner, and then like if I want dessert, ice cream, whatever we have or whatever, something else I want to snack on, I'll use it then. Sometimes I'll wait, even though it's fixed and it's sitting on the table and everything. I'll usually wait about 5 o'clock or so, and I'll have from 5 to 6. Because if I eat later, then by this time I don't want to be snacking. It's like I'm full. So like I would go without snacking. So I'm like, that has worked for me in the past. I was sitting there thinking today about what I was going to talk about tonight. And here we go. We talk about low carbs and keto and this, that, and the other. And back in the day when, Weight Watchers came out, then you had Richard Simmons and this person, this one, and this one. And I'm like, that was a combination of all that back then. Then everybody started separating it out. Because I remember with Richard Simmons, it was grapefruit one morning, eggs one morning, and kind of like rotated with that. Then it's tuna fish for lunch. I was like, always tuna fish. I was like, you get tired of tuna fish. But it was light meals and everything. Then you had your dinner. And y'all remember those cards that had the, I think it had like numbers on it, like one for if you had your 2 ounces of chicken and 2 for, and it points. So I can't remember if it was that Richard Simmons or now Weight Watchers had a point system too and everything. But I used to do the Richard Simmons exercises and I'm like, they worked back then and everything. And then of course we walked around our block and it was a mile around our block. Now actually 4 times around our block was a mile. And so in the summertime, we walked, and then, or even in the wintertime, until it was too cold or it snowed, you would go for a walk. So tomorrow, they're having the chicken noodle dish. Kind of basically like chicken noodle soup. So tomorrow, since I'm going to my doctor and everything, I'll eat something, which will probably be a couple of eggs. And I'm probably make some more turkey sausage because I want to make sure I use that up. And then for lunch, when I get home, I'll probably open up a can of chicken and make like chicken salad like you put on make a chicken salad sandwich, but without the bread. Jazzercise with Richard Simmons. Yep. We had his video VHS tapes too. So, we still had those things for years and everything. So I'm quite sure they threw it away after my mom passed away. That was 15 years ago. But I know she kept everything. But we had that Jazzercise and his VHS tape that came out and all. And then Dr. Atkins came out not too long after that. Headband and leg warmers. I know. Hey, leg warmers came back in style a couple of years ago. They still in style because people wear boots and they're like, oh, these are cool with boots. So, some things you just don't realize they'll all come back in style. So now that I sit here with my arm out more, I know it looks grainy, but it's calming down. So, when my arm's bent and everything like that, gets red and everything. And then with the jewelry, I'll put that on and it goes down. But like I was telling people, those who just came in, I was crocheting just a little bit ago before the live. And so it was red because I had my arm bent. But I think it looks a whole lot better than it did a week ago. And I haven't been on the scales yet because I only lost 1 pound last month. And that was my fault because I kind of like deviated off the low carb and then was trying to do the Daniel fast some and everything just one thing after another came up, and it's like, just forget it. Just go back to the low carb. We'll do the Daniel fast again another time. So yeah, I can't see the chat on YouTube side, technical things. So I'm using my phone for chat. I'm making sure if I see if somebody says hello. So what I've been doing, like I said, this is still writing stuff down about what I ate. Actually, Anastasia's birthday, I forgot to write the last few days. And I had to sit here and think, what did I eat? And see. So Saturday, I forgot. I'm quite sure I had oatmeal with blueberries. And then my coffee and water. I don't remember what I had for lunch. But Saturday was chicken nuggets and tater tots. And I put that down, but I really don't remember if I had any or not. I don't think I did. I don't remember. That was the whole thing. Sunday I remember because Sunday my son was home because Anastasia's birthday was Monday. So it was, still a whatever night type thing. You fix whatever you want. So we did have tater tots and chicken nuggets. Oh, that was Sunday. Oh my goodness. The first was Saturday. So, but Sunday, yes, we did have tater tots and chicken nuggets. And I had chicken nuggets, but I think I had something else. Oh, well, anyway. So Monday, I had 2 eggs, my coffee, my water. I had a salad Sunday, Monday night. I just don't remember what I had Monday night to eat, and I don't know why. Because that was Anastasia's birthday. So, but I put my notebooks underneath the table when I'm finished because, to have room to do other stuff and everything. So I pulled it out and I set it behind the computer because I'm like, no, I really need to get back to writing down what I'm eating. Now, Tuesday I had 2 eggs. Then I had the salad for lunch. It was just a regular salad. They didn't have any chicken in that. And then I made the apple chicken Tuesday. Tuesday, I was busy making videos and all kinds of things. So Tuesday, I did the chicken for the cooking channel. And so I had the apple chicken for supper, and I made cornbread. So that's on my side, and I made chocolate cookies also. So Monday night, that was my meal. My chicken, apple chicken, the cornbread, and my cookies. Well, I had one cookie. So that was Monday night. So from 5 to 6, So no, let me take that back. I had the apple chicken for lunch. I just didn't eat the apples till dinner time because I still had that big turkey and chicken breast to cook. So then I cooked that for dinner Tuesday, and I did a mustard. It wasn't a mustard sauce. I just coated it with mustard, and then cooked it, and then put French's fried onions on it to coat it. So that was the breading for the chicken. So yeah, okay. So here we go. Let me get this right down because. So Tuesday was the 4th. I didn't have a salad. I had the apple chicken. And then I had the mustard chicken for dinner. And today I had a salad. I cut that chicken in half and ate half of it last night, and then used the other half to make a salad with, you know, cut up chicken. And then we had the tacos. So yeah, there we go. So I was like, I get so busy sometimes. So I need to write it down as I'm doing it. You know. So I didn't have any cornbread tonight, so I'll have some for tomorrow night's dinner, um, with the chicken noodle soup. So they'll have chicken, and they've got a bag of mixed veggies, and then the noodles, the protein noodles that they use, and everything. And so they'll might have biscuits and everything. I'll have my cornbread, so that, you know, some of the biscuits still say may contain milk, and some of them don't have any milk in it. So it's like, ah. But yeah, getting back on the low carb and trying to, just change things up. Then there's some vegetables that are low carb that you can have. So I have the celery and I have radishes. Turnips aren't too much of a low carb. See, turnips. Turnips have 6.4 grams of carbohydrates per 100 grams. I'm really not going to sit there and weigh and see if that turnip has 100 grams or not. I'm just not doing that. So I'll probably just eat, which I only use half of one anyway. And they're a good size, you know, they're almost like between a baseball and a softball size. So, but I only use half of it because I'm using other things to go along with it. And so I don't use the whole thing. Now, the radishes, the heat comes from the skins. So if you don't like the radishes because they're hot, just peel the radishes, and then you're not going to have that heat so much. And if you keep the skin on, if you saute them for about 5 minutes or so, like in butter or oil and everything, that takes the heat away from the radishes also. And then they're nice and soft. Um, so yeah, like I said, then what else do I have? I have some squash left over. So things like squash, mostly it's low carb, yellow squash. That's what I've got. All right, so yellow squash only has 3.8 grams per 1 cup. So that's a lot in that 1 cup because, a cup is that much. And that depends on how much you slice that yellow squash. That's a lot in that 1 cup. And that was one thing else I remembered about Weight Watchers. You had to measure every single thing. Oh my goodness. But then when you sit there and put it on a plate, it's like, that was a lot of food. And some people don't realize, you, yes, there's good times to sit there and do intermittent fasting or fasting, but some people can't do that. And I'm one of them. I have to eat. And I'm not diabetic. I don't have low blood sugar or anything, but that's just the way my body is. I have to eat. Um, I was on the rescue squad, and yeah, exactly. Yay for squash. I mean, starting adding radishes to some soups. I'm like, oh, that sounds good. I know I love radishes. Um, on the rescue squad one day, and it was a Saturday. We got too busy, and every time we go stop to get lunch, we would get a call. So we would grab snacks from the hospital because in the room they had stuff, sodas and crackers and stuff like that for us and everything. So, we went from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So this is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. All we've had is these snacks all day long and everything. And I told my driver, I said, we've got to go get something to eat. No sooner we get back in the area, because you have to say when you're back in the area and everything, we go get, soon as we go, I think it wasn't Shoney's. I was like, it didn't matter where it was. We pulled in to get something to eat. We get a standby call. I'm like, you are kidding me. We should just sit there and just told dispatch we were 10-8 or something other. But we couldn't. So it's like, you're kidding me. So it ended up, all right, so that call, I can tell about that call. It was a standby call with the fire department because this man came out of his house and there was a suspicious backpack on his porch. So he called 911, the bomb squad, and everybody showed up. And we were the ones they called to go do the standby for an EMS because everybody else was busy. You're kidding me. So we're sitting there, and I told him, hey, go to the bathroom and everything. It was just a mess. And supposedly fire had oh my goodness, I forgot what the unit's called. Anyway, it was supposed to have had a bathroom. It was like a trailer type thing. Nope. They didn't have nothing. They had no snacks in it, no nothing. I looked at him. I'm like, you're not prepared for your own firefighters, much less EMS. And he kind of looked at me like, yeah, they didn't restock this like they were supposed to. I say, yeah, I think you need to get on somebody about that. So here it goes. That lasted, I want to say, a couple hours, like 4:30 or so, 4:30. We cleared up. It was nothing at all. Nothing at all. So we get clear from the scene. We're going to go get something to eat again. Okay. No, we get another call. I'm like, what in the world is going on today? So we get to the hospital, and I'm standing there. So so behind me is the nurse's station for the ER room. And we're standing there, and my driver, his name was John. And then we had another guy with us, older gentleman. And here's a patient. So I'm standing up against the desk with the patient's bed pulled to me because that's keeping me up. And one of the nurses comes around. And by this time, my hand is doing this. She looks at me. She goes, you're not okay. I'm like, oh, no, I hadn't had anything to eat since breakfast. That's every time we've tried to go get something to eat, we've been called out on a call. She goes, don't you even move. I don't want to see you walking or anything. I'm like, okay. She comes back with crackers and a soda. So she goes to hand it to me, and my hand is doing this. She goes, oh my God. She goes, are you diabetic? I was like, no, I'm not. It's just that my sugar is low because I haven't ate anything. I said, that's not how my body works. My body needs to have substance, food for fuel for it to function right. She goes, don't you ever do that again. So I understand when, there are people who cannot do as far as a fast as no eating and everything. I'm one of them. Even though I don't have any of that or anything. It's just the way my body is. So, but doing a Daniel fast is, completely different. Just, different foods you eat and everything. But some people still can't do that or not have meat or whatever. So look at something else. Is it the TV? Can it be social media? Could it be the phone? Could it be computers? Or you can just flip that around and it's like, instead of being on the computer, I'm gonna read, pick up a book and read. Um, excuse me. Well, it could be whether it's the Bible or a book. My favorite is Sherlock Holmes. I've got his whole collection and everything. So, pick that up and read instead. It could be for 21 days, you're going to walk around the block or walk or do something another instead of just sitting down all day long, if that's possible. Now, like me, with the limit mobility and everything, what I should have been doing, I still could be doing these with my arms for 21 days, but I didn't. But I can tell you, those which are stimulus exercises, which was doing these, and you did so many because you're using the resistance of your arms and doing these, that worked. He knew his stuff because, that got rid of the flab and everything. So I'm not knocking that. I need to get back to it. It's just that with the fibromyalgia, I can't do it every day because it then fatigues your muscles. So if you have fibromyalgia, this is my suggestion because this was works for me. I take magnesium at nighttime because magnesium helps you sleep. And then every other day or 3 days a week, do arms. Now you're going, as far as like building muscles, if you go to, you're supposed to like break down the muscles so it can build it up, whatever. And that's what weightlifters do, but they don't go every day to do weightlifting. They rotate out also. So that's what I should be doing. But I was like, one day I can start off good, and then after a week or so, then the next time it's like, I know I need to exercise, but I got this to do. I got to do this, and it doesn't take long. A minute to sit there and do arm things like this, curls or whatever, and do this and come back around and do this because it's helping your shoulders and the joints and everything. I also do my hand. I do my hand exercises because the carpal tunnel. But I haven't. This hand. I'm still have to do this. That's because I've been forgot for almost a week now to put my castor oil roller on my hand. The other day I was like, the reason I forgot because it fell off the table that way, and it's like it was hidden. I was like, no wonder my hands kind of like this. So alternate dumbbells and then sit-ups and push-ups every other day. Yep, there you go. Alternate. You're still building and strengthening, but you're giving the muscles that you do one day a rest, and you work on something else. And that's what I learned at GNC too. Oh, I gotta tell y'all the story. Hold on. So one day I was in the store. I had to be working during the day. And, the weightlifters would come in and everything. And I had a part-timer who was a weightlifter and everything. He would tell me about different people. And I was like, oh, that's cool and everything. I said, well, if you tell him to come to the store, I'll give him the discount and everything. So I'll never forget this guy comes in and everything. He's really nice. And we're talking and everything. And his name, he just said Dave. He didn't say a last name or anything else. He just said it was Dave. What he was working on towards his goals and everything. I knew what he needed to get and everything. I said, "Oh, that's fine." Got it to him and everything. Well, a few years later, so that was in '98. So let me think. I want to say probably 2008. Let me look this up so I can give an accurate. Okay, 2002. But May of 2002, I was working. So it might have been, I think it was a few years after that because we were back in Virginia. Because in 2002 it was South Carolina, and I was working. It's May 2002, so we really didn't have cable to watch it or anything. So it had been a few more years. We're sitting there, we're watching um, sorry about the language, WWE, and all of a sudden he walks out, and they introduce his name, Dave Batista, or whatever his name is, da 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 da. So as he saw him coming down the ramp and everything, I'm like, I know him. My sons go, what? I was like, he used to come into GNC all the time and get stuff from me. It's like, I know him. That was hilarious. I was like, it's just cool because, people you come across and then all of a sudden they're famous and everything. It's like, I wonder if they remember that or not. Do you remember going to GNC back in 98, 99? Around there. Going in there at the mall. So that was pretty cool. I think, I like doing that. And I've talked to Susie Orman on the phone from QVC because I got her stuff about and that was years ago, um about making a will and everything. So I got to talk to her, and then it was the three guys from Washington Redskins. That was back in 83. 83, 84, somewhere along there. There's a couple other people I've met. I don't remember offhand, but it's interesting. Oh, I didn't meet Hulk Hogan. My brother and I did. Richmond Coliseum. That was back in the 80s. So I would say 85, 86. So we used to go almost, well, not all the time, but we would go a lot because I was still a teenager. And well, back then, you know, you during not halftime, but break or whatever, you could go down and walk down at the bottom of the Coliseum where all the wrestlers and where all the people were and everything. And so we snuck down there and kind of like, so I had to be, so maybe, yeah, 16, 17, because my brother's 6 years older than me. I think I was working for the radio station at the time. But anyway, we got to go down there and everything. And we were seeing them all and everything. And here he comes walking up towards us and all. And he was so nice and everything. And we got his autograph and all kinds of things, his autograph, and got to talk to him and all. And I'll just never forget that. But I was like, that was just so cool. It's like, you just never know the people that you meet and all. So, and then when I was working at GNC at the time, we had the was the Whole Food Centers or something other like that. And then that's when I was in 97, 98. And then the first guy that worked with me part-time, he was a trainer also. And that's how he taught me how to do the low carb. He goes, one of the best ways to do it is for 30 minutes before you eat. You walk for 30 minutes because your body, you don't have anything on your stomach or anything. You haven't eaten anything. So it gets your body to start burning the fats you have in your body for fuel first before you eat anything. He goes, and then for your breakfast, you have no carbs, and then no carbs for lunch, and then your dinner. So if you start at 5 o'clock, you eat till 6 o'clock. And I was 230, and I went down to 160. I met Paula Dean in person, and my daughter sang with the Christian group Sarah Selah at an event. That's so cool. I love it. Oh my goodness, that is so cool. Yeah. And so yeah, because I had my son. He was 5. Yeah, 5. I had to go back and count because I was like, wait a minute, you're how old now? So, yeah, I had put on. I was having problems getting that baby weight off. So that's what he's, showed me how to do it. And it's actually a book called The Carbohydrate Addict's Diet. And but he modified it for me. So, and I could back then. I could walk 30 minutes before I ate because I walked around the store. I got there to the store early. I walked around the store and everything before I opened the store and did what I had to do. And then, I had my breakfast and then ate my lunch. But I know one thing, those first 3 days, that was the hardest. Well, the first day was the hardest back then because the way you were I'm used to eating. But from the time I got home and I had supper from 5 to 6, I ate as much as I could. So then by the third day, it wasn't so bad. He goes, what it does, it teaches your body. By the third day, your body's using the fat you stored for your fuel to give you energy, and then not the proteins or the fats, or the carbs, fats, and proteins are the 3 ways you get energy. So by the third day, your body's using the fat that's stored in your body for fuel instead of the carbs and everything you're putting in. So, but as you're putting, what you're eating in, it's burning it up faster because now the fat burning machine, he called it, is in gear. And so that's how you start losing weight. Now, since mobility issues, what I do, you should see me all day long. I'll try to make a video on that. My SD card is almost full. I'm sitting here and I start doing something. Oh, I forgot. I gotta go do this. So I'll get up and I'll walk to the kitchen. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I come back, I sit down, and then I'll go, oh, I should went to the bathroom. What's up? I'll get up, I'll go to the bathroom. I come back and sit. I kind of sometimes don't know how I really get things done because I sit down and then I remember, or I look up something over there I need to go get. Or I need to go get my vitamins. So get up and go to get my vitamins. I come back, I sit down. I do a little bit, then get up. And that's why the doctor says you'll never work again because there's no office job that's going to allow you to only sit like 20 to 30 minutes. For you just have to get up and walk around because if you sit any longer than that, which I try when I'm doing my lives, that's why y'all see me doing this because the degenerative disc disease on the pelvic bone. If I don't get up and move or move my little behind like that a little bit, it locks up. And many times, I would tell my son, you just got to pull me up out of the chair. Years ago, even before I got diagnosed, could sit there and I'm just like, oh my goodness. Somebody had to pull me up out of the chair, or, when I even had a van. And so we finished, get from one place to the other, just to turn around to get out of that van. I was like, what in the world is going on? But that's what was going on. It probably was from all the jumping and silly stuff doing as a kid. I don't know. She said, that was in 2009. That was probably, she goes, it's been there for a while. I'm just like, how long? I need to know how long. She goes, well, at least probably 5 years, maybe more. I said, that's why I can't sit in the car too long. So that's, if I sit in the car, I'm doing the same thing, moving this way or moving that way. I got my legs stretched out and everything. I'm glad we had buffet that night so you could get up and down. I know, me too. I don't know if anybody saw me doing stuff in the chair, because I'll be sitting there, I'll be eating, and I'm kind of like doing this and looking up. Somebody, I'll tell you, if y'all ever notice me, that's why, because by the time it's time for me to go to bed, to lay still and everything, by this time I start, to wind down, I do start getting stiff, and I'm just like, okay, Lord, I don't like this, but I understand why. So, but I do know the magnesium helps. It not only helps me sleep, the magnesium helps during the day. And it helps my sciatic not to be as bad, because that L5 and S1 are bone to bone. So the nerves right there are pinched. And I've had several doctors say there ain't nothing they can do. Then my son goes, you're not getting back surgery. I'm like, ain't nobody touching my back. He that orthopedic want to do a hip replacement. I said, I don't think so. Now, after he was the one that sat there and gave me a cortisone shot, and I told him I didn't want one and talked me into it, and ended up with 3 blood clots. I was like, I don't think so. He is not touching me. That's just it. I've got other ones I can go to get a second opinion and everything. But I do agree with, it was Jan and Heather last week and everything. We're talking about going to a chiropractor. They're expensive around here, but I honestly believe that my hip, all right, so here's your hip and then the ball and socket. I do agree that mine's out with different angle than what it's supposed to be. Not out of socket, but just kind of like moved out of joint just a hair or fraction, and they don't want to really look at more in depth to see if that's true or not. So, but a chiropractor costs a lot of money around here. My insurance is supposed to cover it. Like I said, I only called one. I called one and left a message, and they never returned my call. So it's something I probably will still start digging into next year. It's at the end of the year, and we're focused on other things and the snow that's coming. It's so funny. Depends on which other person you watch on YouTube, how much snow we're going to have on Monday. I was like, I'm excited. I like the snow. I don't like to see 3 feet of snow. It's been a while since we've had a feet of snow. because I can sit here and just watch out and just look outside and enjoy it and everything. But that's what I've been doing. That's what this week, and then going back to the low carb diet. I still don't like fish. I guess I said I don't like. I really don't like fish, but I guess I do like fish. It just depends on how it's cooked. If it's cooked correctly or whatever, it's probably not that bad. Tuna fish, I just have to try it again because, like I said, after I got the pacemaker in, I couldn't taste the taste of fish. It was awful. Of tuna fish, shrimp, and everything for 6 months. I was like, forget it. I couldn't eat it. Um, but we haven't had shrimp in a while because the price of that went up. And then it was on recall. I was like, it's most of the stuff that gets recalled is because they forgot to put the allergen on the label. I'm like, y'all didn't forget to do that. That's malarkey. I think and if they did it on purpose. So, and then when I planted for the winter garden, to be honest, I forgot to water. I just didn't water. I'm just like, it rained a few days here and there, and then I go to look to water, and it just seems like everything is still soaking wet underneath the soil and everything. And it's like, well, I'm not going to water and just overwater. So I just haven't watered anything. And like I said, the mustard greens are still this tall. Like, oh, wow. That's just is what it is. Other things, there are some things that are growing. Now, probably the carrots and the onions, I'm just going to leave all that there in the planters. And if it snows Monday, I'm supposed to, and like I said, it depends on which other app you look at too. Friday is supposed to rain. So now that says rain, rain, and rain. Or maybe some snow. Who knows? But like I said, it's going to rain. So I'm not even going to water anything. And I'll just let that sit and over winter. Just leave it like that. And who knows? Spring comes around. I might have pumpkins and everything. So I was like, well, that'd be a good thing. And I still have the sugar pie pumpkin I got from Jeff and Tammy at the Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla. So I've got to wash that off and cut that up and everything. And I was listening to, oh my goodness, I forgot the name of the channel. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Homegrown herbalist. Let's see here. I found copy the link. Oh no, snow. Oh, I love snow. He was talking about pumpkins and how good they are for you and everything. I'm trying to sit there. Well, that's not what I want to do. All right, there we go. Oh, it still did that. I'm trying to pin it at the top. And it's not letting me. There we go. All right. So now it's pinned at the top. Gut for great health. I baked the seeds too. Yes. That's what he was talking about, the seeds and everything. And I think he had a sugar pie pumpkin in his hand. And he was talking about you can eat the skin. And I was like, Rebecca and I looked at each other like, I didn't know we could eat the skin. So I was like, if that's the case, that's good because I love pumpkin. And especially the seeds. Yeah, the skin. I know. That's pretty interesting. So, tonight's an hour because I have to be up early tomorrow and everything. Go to the doctor and get those lovely shots. Do I think they're helping? Yes, I believe they're helping because I'm not sitting here doing this number all day long. So they are working, which I am very grateful for and everything. Thank you, Misha. And also, now Friday night is cooking dairy free and alcohol with Nancy. Saturday, will be back on our treasure home for Bible. And I think I have an idea for starting a new study for Saturday nights, but you'll have to wait to find out. So, thank y'all for being here. And y'all just be ready for cold air. Cold air weather is coming. So God bless. Stay safe. We love y'all. And we'll see you next time on Our Treasure Home.